All right, guys, we got a few more people just funneling in here, so we'll get started in about 60 seconds. Hello, Bill. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, John. Hey, Tracy. Thanks for joining us today. Hi, Megan. Thanks for joining us today. Steve Jones. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We got people still coming in, but we'll go ahead and fire off. So, hey guys, hello and welcome. We're very excited to talk to you today about the opportunity at eXp and share the model with you. Me and my business partner, Greg, we're going to break down the platform, tie in our personal stories, and then at the end, we'll do some Q&A. So if you have questions, fire them in the chat, or we'll wait till the end. All right, Greg, you ready to go? All right. Still got piling in today.
Ready to go. Ready to go. Right. Let's do it.
Let's hit it.
All right. Thanks, Vic. Let's get it going, man. All right, everybody. Since we're a few minutes into this, we're just going to jump right into it and start sharing everything. My man, Victorious, is going to share some more information with you again later. And my co-host on this. And of course, I'm Greg Macaluso. Thank you so much for joining us here today so we can unpack this model. We have a ton of information that we're going to unpack here. I talk fast. I'm from New York originally, so I talk even a little bit faster. But I want you to really hear what it is that we have to share about this platform and why it's unique, why it's different, what it does, and the advantages that it gives us as agents to really take advantage of the fact that we're entrepreneurs. And, you know, the problem that exists, I think, in the world right now, I don't want to call it a problem, but the knowledge of what exists in the world right now that everybody needs to realize is that the world has shifted. There's been a change. How do we adapt to that change? What is the best platform or the best opportunities within that change, and how there are opportunities within that change? And when I keep talking about that is I like starting things off with like an inspirational quote. It gets your mind thinking, and I'm going to share some of this along these lines. Around this quote is innovation is the ability to see change as opportunity, not a threat. That's Steve Jobs. We can all agree that life as we know it has shifted. There's been a change. There's been innovation in how our lives exist. I want you to think about this from a perspective of how you operate. You know, 5 years ago, were any of you on a Zoom call? Probably not. You may not even have heard of Zoom. Maybe you had FaceTime on your phone. It was kind of glitchy and you don't even know if you used it that much. But now it's become kind of the norm, right? You go back 2017, 2018, no one was using this type of technology. You look at Uber, you look at Netflix, the way we watch, the way that Amazon delivers packages, DoorDash, Instacart, all of these things that have become part of our lives and the way that we operate. It's innovation and it's change, right? Well, who's to say then, or how could you believe that our industry didn't change? Or how can you believe that it didn't need to evolve or change or innovate into something else? Well, that's what's transpired. And as a result of that, there's been a platform that's been introduced. So I want you to think about, as I'm moving through this, is the changes in our industry, am I getting and am I maximizing everything out of my business? For as hard as I work, am I getting the extra opportunities? I'm getting the extra ability to have more from what I'm doing, the efforts I'm putting in. And I want you to think about that as we're going through this. So this is the think tank, okay? But I'm going to share all of the tools, the information the platform has to offer. But I also want you to look at then some of the other benefits that this platform has to offer that are just unbelievable in comparison to what even I'm going to share right now in the beginning stages of what we can do from a production level to enhance your business. And let me share a little bit of my background so you know what I'm talking about here. Like I said before, my name is Greg Macaluso. I sold as a team. I personally have sold over 250 transactions myself personally in the last 10 years. My organization, meaning my team, actually just my small team, has sold over 2,000 transactions, done over $1 billion in sales. So I know a little thing about sales. But what I realized in the midst of all that sales volume and everything that was going on is there had to be a better way for me to gain more for my hard work and for the agents around me to gain more for their hard work. And that's what the idea was with eXp. eXp's idea was, how can I provide more to the agents so they can do even more production? But then I even have more benefits than have ever been offered before as a package from a platform perspective in the marketplace. And that's what we're going to share with you today. It's truly amazing, and I cannot wait to share all this with you. So I'm going to unpack it like this. There's 3 different levels of income generators that are created with eXp. You have your sales lane, which is your production, which we all know and are familiar with. As soon as you get into this business, you sign up to have your real estate license. You don't know it, but you're an entrepreneur, and you get to work, and you start selling homes, and you start selling, buying and helping people buy and sell homes, and you start learning the sales aspect of what goes on in this business. What we're going to share with you then later in the presentation, and my man Victorious is going to help us share some of that information as well, is about how you can then generate additional wealth in conjunction with your sales, which is, to me, the most beneficial ever, because we want to get more for how hard we work. We work too hard to not maximize all of the gains that we can get out of that. So here we go. I'm going to jump into the production level of what it is that this platform really is. And it's the most agent-centric brokerage on the planet. It destroyed what was the traditional model. Now, if you think about it, traditional models have been destroyed a number of times now. Going to the store to buy things. I mean, Amazon's just delivering packages to your house. That destroyed the traditional model of getting in your car and going to the store. DoorDash destroyed the traditional model of just straight delivery. Now you can have anything to just arrive at your door within hours. There's probably a package getting sent to my door as we speak. It's unbelievable how many packages show up. Netflix destroyed what was a way that we used to watch movies or go out to then go obtain movies for us to watch in our homes. All of these things, those traditional models have been destroyed by innovation and ideas on how to change. Well, the number one thing of eXp, their backbone, is their cloud-based platform. It allowed the platform to have no desk fees, no royalties, no franchise fees. You can work from anywhere now. Real-time support. As of right now, there's over 1,700 people up in eXp's cloud, 1,700 employees waiting to answer questions for any of the eXp agents. That's huge support, more so than you would ever get at a traditional model where you only have maybe 1 or 2 people in an office that can assist you. But I want you to think about something too when you think about cloud-based, because everybody goes, well, yeah, no, it's cloud-based. Like, I really do love to be a part of or have office space to work out of when I want to meet a client or get some work done. eXp, as part of your platform, you're offered a Regis office pass, and you have access to over 2,000 offices throughout the world. So you have office space to work out of. There's also local offices in many of the markets and local things that are going on that can assist on those levels, but you have office space if you need that. But I want you to think about how you transact your business here today. Cloud-based is not far off of what you're currently transacting your business. Everyone's using e-signatures or DocuSign, Dotloop. One of these companies are out there. Our system's called SkySlope. That's how we view all of our transactions and have all of our paperwork obtained. So we're all using e-systems. We're all using cloud-based CRMs. We're all using email. We're chatting through text messages. We're jumping on Zoom calls. So we are operating cloud-based, even with our clients when we're transacting business on a regular basis. So being cloud-based is something we're already kind of accustomed to, because that has what's evolved and changed in the world. But eXp had a better level of cloud-based, which is their world. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that later, which gives you more for what you need as a brokerage. And that's where the game changer is. Now, in conjunction with their cloud-based platform, there's leading training. There's training that's on demand. You can do it at any time. You can do it at in your bedroom. You can do it at 2 o'clock in the morning. It gives you ability then to have access to all this information 24 hours a day. And then there's also success coaching. And then when you couple all of that with our huge compensation package, which again, we're going to share a little bit more on later, and the revenue sharing in the stock, which is basically your equity portions, when you put all of that together, it becomes an ultimately winning package. And that's what we're gonna talk through here. So one of the biggest things that I always love to tap on is you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. So I need to just share a little bit, and I'll move through this quick, but I want you to understand a little bit of the history of eXp as a platform and what got us to where we are right now. So back in 2009, the platform was founded. By 2013, the platform already went public. And then in 2015, they introduced what's called an icon program and the agent equity opportunity. We're going to share more on that later. My man Victorious is going to share more on that later, but that was a huge game changer for top selling agents or agents taking advantage of being owners in the company. Well, then by 2018, eXp World Holdings is being traded on the NASDAQ. That's huge. And then eXp acquired Virbela and their cloud-based metaverse, which again, I'm going to share more about, but that was a big aspect in the fact that now we had ownership in that. By 2019, then eXp is now going international. They're in 2 different countries, Canada and the UK, and then Australia as well. So you're seeing where eXp as a company is starting to expand even outside of our borders as a country. By 2020, eXp owns Success and IDX, Showcase IDX, and then eXp Global is introduced and their commercial division, which again, I'm going to tap on a little bit later. By 2022, what did this all equal to? Massive expansion, massive growth, over 86,000 agents. And you can see the growth trend here. This is only going to 2022. So you think about what last year too, we're over 90,000 agents, well over 90,000 agents now. If you go back to 2017, I was first introduced to the platform back in 2017, like Q3, Q4, where those little numbers are in the beginning of this chart. There was about 6,600 agents at that time. Now look at where the growth is. It has been explosive growth, and it's the fastest growing brokerage for a reason, because of the offering package that's included here. So now let's talk about this. It's not just about agent count jumping, which they're number one growth leader in that category, but it's also on transactions and volume. T360 shows us that basically we're winning at every category. So top performers are selling at high levels because of this package. So it's not just about maybe some of the things or ideas that have been heard in the past. eXp's, they're recruiting agents in, and that's the goal of this company. No, the goal of this company is to outproduce everyone. It's number one independent brokerage, number one top mover in transactions, number one top 5 movers in sales volume. This is huge stuff. Number 3 among top 50 brokerages in U.S. residential home sales by Power Broker, and that was 2022. eXp is outselling everyone, and that's why we're growing at exponential levels. And then you couple that with your agents being offered even more, that is explosive growth. So you're probably thinking by now, what does this all mean for me? Well, this is what it means. From a growth opportunity, there's no company like this. This is the place, if you're an entrepreneur, which I hate to tell you this, as a real estate agent, or I don't hate to tell you this, actually, I need to tell you this. As a real estate agent, when you went out and got your real estate license, you became an entrepreneur. The second you got your real estate license, it doesn't matter where your license is parked with, whatever brokerage it's with, you are an entrepreneur. But I want to have boundless opportunities. I want to have opportunities to have more. I want to gain more out of what I'm doing. Well, that's where the growth comes in with this company, and that's why they expanded at the levels that they have. In conjunction with that, I want to have ownership. I want to own what it is that I'm doing. Well, you get to do that through the brokerage platform that is set up with the agent equity program. We have ownership in what's going on. What all that then transpires and then leads to is building a community that no one's ever seen before. There's collaboration at levels and transparency that we've never seen, because this company has the ability to offer more as an offering package. And then in conjunction with that, they're innovating at levels that are keeping up with how the trends in society have changed. So we're keeping pace, if not outpacing, where we're all headed in our lives, which equals greater business. And through all of that, you're going to find your freedom. And you're going to find your freedom in this platform, because it gives you all of those opportunities for the freedom that you imagine as becoming that entrepreneur that you became when you got your license. So let's talk about the world. The world that's offered, which is our metaverse, it's called Virbela, is the back office hub to everything that we have going on. With that, it allows eXp as a company to give you real-time support with no desk fees, low overhead costs. It minimizes all of their expenses. That's why they can offer more from all of these other additional income benefits. But what it also does is it allows you to get your answers to your questions faster than anywhere before. And I tapped on this before, but if you're working in a traditional brokerage model, or even a somewhat non-traditional brokerage model, but you're in a brick and mortar type office setup, there's usually maybe one managing broker or one broker in charge and an administrative person that you can ask a question to if you needed support on something. eXp, 1,700 people up in the cloud. Each state has 6 to 8 managing brokers or brokers in charge that you can go to get your answers to your questions that you have. That is huge support, and it's immediate support because we all know that time is money. The faster that I can move, the faster I can get the answers to my questions, the better off I'm going to be for my clients and for my overall business. And that's what eXp is able to provide through this metaverse platform, which, by the way, is online now. It's exp.world. You can go in there and visit it if you'd like to. And you can see, basically, it's an avatar that you have that you can go into different rooms and get the answers to any questions you have. Huge, huge support. In conjunction with that, there's tons of training and additional things that I'm going to share with you in a minute here as well. And what I mean by that is eXp has training that will help you with the growth of your production, okay? eXp University is an innovative platform that gives you over 80 plus hours of weekly classes, trainings, It's done by some of the top agents within eXp. So now you can go into this metaverse world or go back later. They're recorded. They're there for your access 24/7. But you can go into this world and be able to get training from the best of the best within the company. It's huge benefits to us to raise the level of production. If you're an agent that's maybe a little bit more junior in the business and you need assistance a little bit more, for lack of a better word, hand-holding in what's going on, there's a mentorship program that you'll be linked to a mentor, a top producing agent that then can assist you through your first few transactions. So you get adjusted to what's going on in the business as well. So you're getting guidance from the best of the best, training from the best of the best. It's huge. With that, then there's also masterminds and task force that have been created with eXp. They're making sure that we're always going to go back, and these task force are always going to go back and make sure that we're being as innovative as possible so that we can basically figure out where there might be holes in or gaps in what it is that we're doing so we can keep improving. That's a huge benefit to all of us as agents because we know that our top people are always looking out for us through these masterminds and these task force to provide more information to us and then to help us grow our business. And that's unbelievable that's there for us to, again, have just more benefits for how this company is going to evolve as time goes on. And I tapped on it before, broker support. You have unbelievable broker support with your transactions because of the fact that all of these people are at your disposal at any time that you need them. And then it's immediate response in any of those situations. To have multiple people, multiple layers of additional support that's there to assist you at any given moment, no matter where you are. You can be sitting in your car. You can access this. That's huge for benefit for you to go out and produce more, to have those answers, again, to your questions immediately. They're also future focused with their technologies, eXp. And these are a few of the tools that are kind of associated with that. Revos is one of the companies that's tied to eXp that helps with buyer and seller referrals. You can become an eXp relo agent, so you can help with relocation. There was over 11,000 internal referrals that were passed through the eXp relocation aspect. And then in conjunction with that, there's also a referral network that passed probably about another 10,000 referrals last year. Huge benefits to us as agents internally, where all of that business is getting passed back and forth through agents that are part of this growing company. There's also Make It Rain and then new programs that they'll offer as far as lead generation, which is huge. That's all through the Revos package. There's eXp Solutions, which is another vendor solution, which will give you different vendors that maybe you can use to enhance your business that are tied to eXp, that are give either discounts or benefits to you as being an eXp agent, which is huge to have that at your fingertips. There's additional lead generation that's done through our back-end system, which is KV Core, which is your CRM system that's offered to you. KV Core is the Cadillac, I guess, terms you want to say, the Lexus or the Mercedes, whatever you want to say, the top level of CRMs that's offered out in the business world for real estate agents as of today through their lead generation tools and what the platform has to offer. There's no additional cost to you. That's all part of your tech package. That is included. If you wanted to go out and buy this type of CRM, it's probably looking at $300-400, could be $500 a month. If you wanted to buy it individually, you're getting this for your tech package, included in your tech package with eXp, which is huge. Okay. With that, you get your front end website. You get other programs that allow you to then generate even more leads. The squeeze pages, advertising. It's unbelievable the lead generation you can do through that back end CRM. And then after all of that, there's the listing and marketing material, which is over 5,000 plus customizable templates that you can just plug your information into. They're there, pre-formatted, ready for you to go. Social media posts, flyers, brochures, door hangers, whatever it is that you need. All this material is there, and you can just plug your logo in if you have a logo, or yourself, and plug in all of your information, and you're ready to rock, even down to full kits for your listings that you're going out on. So to create full flyers and, again, door hangers and all the brochures and everything that you need, which is huge. And all of that is there. It's flexible, easy for you to be able to punch all of your information in and utilize those 5,000 plus templates for your business to enhance your business. Takes the guesswork out of it, makes you move faster. That's what we love, right? In conjunction with all of that that's offered through eXp, there's another platform that we have that's utilized heavily. Actually, we're the #1 utilization on this in the country, which is called Workplace. And if you don't know what Workplace is, or if you haven't heard about it before, Workplace is basically Facebook. It's Facebook for business people. It's the business version of it. Facebook created it for businesses to be able to collaborate on another level, on a better level. And that platform is offered through eXp, that is utilized by eXp. There's over 90,000 people using agents now and employees of eXp, so it's over 90,000, utilizing this back-end platform for collaboration and developing more community. There's trainings that are going on, additional masterminds in conjunction with the 80+ hours that I talked about before that's in the university. There's additional training, additional information, additional collaboration, additional communication through work chat and things that are associated with this. It's a huge benefit to all of us to be able to collaborate at levels, which is also why eXp been able to expand so quickly outside of their borders. Myself personally, I ran an independent brokerage that was here located in Charlotte, North Carolina. We were basically operating out of 2 states because we're very close to the border here to South Carolina. So, you know, in doing business, we were operating in North and South Carolina, just across the border. Well, since coming to eXp, now I have a group that's in over 14 states operating, and we can communicate through platforms like this because it's so easy to collaborate when you have these tools at your disposal. Huge benefit. Okay. The last 2 things that I'm going to talk about here in this aspect from a platform perspective is being future focused. eXp wanted to make sure that all of their agents had the ability to do commercial and then luxury business. If you think about it, you know, residential sales kind of falls down the middle, and then you always have these outliers. They're going to come up over time as you sell more and more real estate, as you collaborate with more and more people. You're going to have commercial business that comes along. You're going to have luxury business that comes along, even though it's technically residential, but it is a little bit of a different animal. Well, what ends up happening with eXp is they realize to innovate, to change, to make sure we're offering the best technology, the best tools possible. We need to have platforms that are developed and designed to assist in these levels and these areas. So eXp Commercial was then launched, eXp Luxury was launched, and now you have benefits in both of these categories to drive your business forward. And it's a huge benefit to all of the agents that are associated in either of those types of realms. In conjunction with that, now eXp went international. So initially US, like I said before, it was Canada and the UK. Well, now we're in over 24 countries, pushing to get to 30 countries, I think, in the next 4 or 5 years, and growing by leaps and bounds. That's huge benefit, because what I want everyone to know is, like, think about it, what I just said before, from a luxury perspective or relationship perspective, by 6 degrees of separation, you probably know someone that's outside the country. Well, now you can collaborate with them because we're expanding and we're one brokerage throughout the entire world, not just the United States. And there's huge benefits in that. I've witnessed it and experienced it myself here recently, as well as I have an agent now in Dubai as a result of the way eXp operates. If I was operating my independent brokerage back in years back when I was operating on that level, there's no way I'd have an agent operating outside of the borders of the United States, let alone even have agents really outside of the 2 states that I was in. The fact that I have somebody internationally now is huge, and that's a huge benefit that I need you to understand. It also helps for our luxury market and our luxury clients, because now you can broadcast and advertise and market their properties to outside of our country borders, which is a huge benefit to all of your luxury clients. Okay. One of the last components that I think is a huge one, and I don't want it to ever go missed, is the eXp healthcare plan. 28 to 33% of realtors are uninsured. I every time I read this slide, I mention it every time. It bothers me that so many folks are uninsured. We really need to have healthcare plans that are affordable, with low monthly premiums, maybe limited out-of-pocket expenses. eXp realized that as well, so they took all the agents that they had as a group and went to a company who's called Clearwater and said, "Hey, we need a healthcare plan for our agents," and they delivered. They created a healthcare plan that was super affordable, super convenient, and you get to keep all your regular doctors, but you get to be in this healthcare plan that is much more affordable for the agents. I gotta be honest. I gotta share a personal story with this. Back in 2020, my daughter was diagnosed with leukemia. She's doing fantastic. She's in remission now and doing fantastic. But what ends up happening when somebody comes out of a treatment plan like that is they can't receive healthcare. They can't get healthcare. If you go to a traditional healthcare plan, you literally can't get it. eXp actually has healthcare plans now for people with pre-existing conditions. That's a huge benefit to, outside of even the unbelievable plans that they already have offered, the ability for this Clearwater company through eXp to offer that to the agents. It, to me, hit me personally, and then maybe hit some of you personally. It's a huge benefit that should never go overlooked. So I just wanted to share that with you as well. That's a huge benefit, that you can get healthcare for a very affordable rate. And that's thanks to eXp's innovation on that level as well. Okay, so you're probably thinking right now, Well, what does this all cost? It sounds like it's going to be a fortune. Well, it's not. But let me share. Let me share what the commission structure looks like, so you know exactly how it all breaks down. We're very transparent here. We mentioned that in one of the earlier slides. So I want to make sure that you fully are aware of how this all breaks down. So it's an 80-20 split. Cool thing at eXp, I love bringing this up from this point, and then we'll get into some of these other numbers, is that every agent at eXp is on an 80-20 split. All the agents are on the same split. If you're at some of small brokerages, or even some of those traditional brokerages, even larger brokerages, sometimes they're giving, better splits to the higher producing agents, and certain agents. I hated all that. I was one of those agents that kind of fell into that category for a period of time. When you're a top producer, all of a sudden they're offering you maybe a better deal, and then what does that create? It doesn't create any sort of collaboration, because then it creates animosity actually within your branch or your office, because that person's getting a better split than me. I don't like how that works. Everybody at eXp is on an 80-20 split. If I go to a room with 600 people, you look across the room, everybody's on an 80-20 split. I love that, because it makes it easier to collaborate when you know that everybody's on the same playing field. Huge benefit to having everyone on an 80-20 split. Now let's get to the numbers. It's a 16K cap. So what does that mean? Sell about roughly 3.2 million worth of real estate at a 2.5% commission rate. You're capped. You paid your 16,000 into the company, and now you're at 100% for the rest of the year. Huge benefit that to be able to cap at that level. So it's roughly about 3.2 million at a 2.5% rate. You'd be at 100% for the rest of the year. After that, then you would start paying a transaction fee. And Vic will talk a little bit more about that later on what that looks like for then when you become an icon agent. Now your starting costs are simple. It's $149 to sign up. That's it. And then it's $85 a month. $85 a month includes all of the tools that I told you about before, all the technology tools, all of the back office system, your CRM, your brochures, your flyers, your marketing, your marketing materials, the 5,000 plus customizable materials, all of that. You get the trainings, the collaboration, all of it for $85 a month. Huge benefit. There's no way you could package all of that up from a tech perspective for yourself for $85 a month anywhere. It's impossible. So the fact that you get all of these tools and all of these benefits for $85 a month is huge. Okay. In conjunction with that, there's a $25 transaction review fee. That's so that we can make sure that they're reviewing all of your transactions as they're moving through your transaction system, so that by the time you get to the closing table, you're ready to get paid, and you get paid right away at eXp, which is huge. And the only other fee that you have is a $60 risk management fee. And that's obviously your E&O insurance, but they don't charge you up front for that. And also companies do. It charges you per transaction, but that caps at $750, and then you don't pay any more for the remainder of the year. So once after you do enough transactions, which I guess is around 12, you would then be capped for the rest of the year on insurance that you have to pay that $60 fee. That's it. Pretty transparent, pretty simple, and pretty incredible. Now, let's get into some of the other benefits of what this company has to offer, because that's all of the production side and what the cost is associated with eXp. Here's all the additional benefits that come with that, that'll give you more for what it is that you have going on and how hard you're working. That's the main reason why we're here. Hard as we work, want to have more. So if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. Again, get you thinking on an inspirational quote kind of level. That's Warren Buffett. Somebody knows a little bit about making money. So eXp had another idea. We had to offer more. We had to offer more from an equity standpoint to build wealth. We had to offer more from an income standpoint to help build wealth. So that was the idea. They implemented it. Huge growth. And now I'm going to turn it over to my man, Victorious, who's going to share a little bit more from an investment perspective and how this is huge, because that's the realm that he lives in, and he knows a thing or two about this. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Vic.
All right, thanks, Greg. Hey, before we dive in, I do want to just share my decision to come over to eXp. So my name is Victorious, and my purpose is to win by serving others. And I think you'll catch that a lot of people are living their purpose over at our organization. So I earned my real estate stripes in the investor world, like Greg mentioned, and I've been in the industry for 8 years. I started flipping houses down there in Georgia, South Carolina, completing over 150 transactions. However, I found my true calling becoming a lender for real estate investment deals, and started to leverage my knack of raising capital. And I enjoy the role of being the bank much more than I do swinging the hammer. So over the years, I funded about 250 deals plus, and we're still rocking and rolling on that. Okay, so what, Victorious, why eXp? So when I was introduced to eXp, I saw it as an incredible growth opportunity. So I don't know about you guys, but I consider myself a real estate entrepreneur, and I'm always seeking ways to expand my revenue streams and enhance my business. So I got my license, I came over, and now I get to work on referrals with agents. I get to help grow our organization, helping other agents achieve their goals. And in return, I'm rewarded with revenue share, which is not something I had in a previous gig. And the other thing is we get the opportunity to earn stock. So let's delve into the details of the stock program. All right. So there's 5 ways and a bonus way. We'll ask the group here, maybe make this a little bit interactive after I go through the first 5. Greg, see who knows the model out there. The first way, easy. Complete your first transaction, $200 worth of shares. Number 2 is cap. So once you cap, again, we used like to say it's about 3.2 million in gross commissions at a conservative 2.5% commission rate. You receive another $400 worth of shares. Number 3, bring over another agent. Bring your friend over. $400 shares right in your pocket. Next is the agent equity program. I would say this is a real game changer. I think it's 60% plus of agents participate in this, Greg, if I'm not mistaken there, where you can take 5% of your gross commissions to purchase stock at a 5% discount. So I'll give you an easy example. Think about like this. If you had a bank account that had 100K in it over 12 months, you'd have 105K in it at the end of the year. So it's a free kind of 5% there. Who doesn't want free, right? And the last one here, I'm going to talk about the icon status. So capping is great, but where you really get rewarded is for the top performers here, and that's by becoming an icon agent. So how do you become an icon agent? Well, first you cap, and then if you complete 20 additional transactions, now these don't have to be sales. These can be referrals or leases. So you can expand on that. And that's what I know there's plenty of help there to get you those other 20 transactions. We could talk more about that in the Q&A. But once you complete that, you receive your whole 16,000, K back in stock. So Greg, you want to talk a little bit about, I know, look, the stock goes up and down, right? But you're still awarded the stock. And I think it's more like a home, right? It's going to appreciate over the long term. You want to talk about, hey, if you've been here at eXp, kind of how some of that stock performance has worked?
Yeah, love to. So we ran some, Victorious and I ran some analysis on what we saw for icon agents going back. So like, like you do on stocks, right? We did a 5-year look back. So we did a 5-year look back. If you were an icon agent back in 2019, so you're basically going back about a 5-year look back, you would have had just in icon stock, that's not any additional stock or any other awards, just in icon stock alone, you would have had $250,000 more built up in equity just by being at eXp, performing at the level that you were already performing at. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a lot of money to leave on the table that the company is just awarding to you for performing at a high level. So as an icon agent, to take advantage of this is huge, because it will just another way of building wealth that's being offered to you for what you're already doing today. That's a game changer. One of the big benefits that we want to talk about from a stock perspective too is an understanding is that it's not just based around the stock that you're owning is not just based around the cloud-based brokerage of eXp. That's a portion of eXp World Holdings, but eXp, as I mentioned in when I was doing the history, they also own their metaverse platform, which is utilized by other companies. I mean, the Stanford Graduate School of Business uses eXp's metaverse in their daily activities of things that are going on at the university. So like there's other companies utilizing this business aspect of what's going on with their company, so that it's not just leveraged off of, and as a stock and as a company, it's not just leveraged off of the cloud-based real estate brokerage. Success, which I also mentioned that we owned, which is a multi-level media platform. We own that as well. That's also a basis in what's going on as far as the stock is concerned. So this stock is elevating to another level because the revenue that's being driven is not just from real estate sales. It's from multiple levels of technology and then multimedia platforms as well, which will help elevate the stock price and keep it consistent as time goes on, which is a huge benefit to any of us as owners in this company as you become when you become a stockholder. So that's a huge thing to understand and know that you're not just ownership in just a straight real estate company. You're diversified within that company as well, which is again, love having ownership in that.
Yeah, Hey, Greg, before I want to try to make this slightly interactive. So does anyone know the sixth way that you'll
Oh
get
yeah.
earn stock awards at EXP? You can type it in the chat or just come off mute and say it. Going once, going twice. All right. Well, EXP World Holdings, as Greg said, publicly traded stock. It's also a dividend paying stock. So they distribute a portion of the company's profits every quarter. So that is another way that you earn stock. And actually, well, I won't say stock, but cash here right in your pocket. And the cool thing is you can reinvest these dividends. So your investment growth will only compound. So I think the cool thing about earning stock is you get to learn about stock. I know real estate agents are focused on selling property, but here there's much to learn about stock and how that works in your favor. All right, Greg, back to you.
I love it. I love it. See, you didn't know there's a sixth way, everybody. So that's what I love. Victorious giving us some education on that component. It's a huge benefit to you that it's a dividend paying stock like that too. So thanks for bringing that up. All right, so we're gonna get into the last portion of how you can earn additional and build additional wealth for, again, how hard you're working, what's going on here at eXp, and it's basically their revenue sharing portion. And you may have heard of it before, you may have understood it or thought you understood it. I'm going to try to break this down as simple as I possibly can. Is that over time, when we're in the industry for, usually it could be a small period of time, but if you're in the industry for a longer period of time, as we all are, that take this as our career, as the entrepreneurs that we are, we're going to then, over time, introduce somebody to our company. We're going to collaborate with someone. We're going to join forces with someone that we really like and enjoy working with and start collaborating with, and likely introduce them to the company or meaning brokers that you're working for. It's inevitable. It happens to all of us over a period of time. Well, eXp compensates you for that. So by introducing someone to the company, eXp will compensate you not on profit, on revenue. So it comes off of each transaction as you're performing your business, up to $2,800 off of each person that you directly introduce to the company. So if you went out and asked 5 of your friends in the industry, which most of us have about 5 friends in this industry, and you asked them to come over to eXp, and these are agents that are doing roughly $3 million in sales, like we mentioned before. So they're capping agents. They're going to cap every year. If there's agents that they're performing at that level, you can make up to $2,800 off of each of your 5 friends. And I say make, but it's being paid out of the company's portion, not yours. And it's not impacting the agent either. So it's coming out of the company's profits, in essence, or excuse me, their gross revenue, and it's coming to you then directly. Well, that's a huge benefit. Now, once they cap, there's no more to pay. That's why it caps at $2,800 per person. But if you think about it, if you introduce 5 of your friends, like we mentioned before, that $2,800 per each of those friends equates to about $14,000 a year. That's pretty cool. I mean, I likely was going to introduce 5 of my friends to come work with me anyway. I like working with my friends. I want to work with people that I know, like, and trust. So it's going to be kind of an easy transition for me on that level. Well, here's where eXp gets really interesting. There's a cascading effect on the way that the revenue is paid out. And what happens is then, if your friends have a friend, because everybody has a friend in the industry, right? So they have a friend outside of you. They have one other friend outside of you. And they introduce that one other friend outside of you to the organization and to meaning the company and the eXp platform. Then you get to get paid on that friend as well. This is how it starts to expand and compound. And that's what we were talking about earlier. So in my example that I'm giving, your 5 friends come over, they're $3 million producers. They all cap, they're generating about $14,000 for you a year because it's $2,800 per person. Well, in tier 2, now their one friend that they brought in, that can generate up to $3,200 per person. That $3,200 per person, if they introduce one person, that's another 5 people you would have. So your total organization now, if you get 5 and 5, it's 10 people in your total organization because you introduced your 5 friends to the company. Level 2, paying out $3,200. If these are same agents doing about $3 million a year, so they're again capping agents, and you can make $3,200. That's another $16,000 you can make off your tier 2 agents. Combine those 2 numbers together that I mentioned before, 14,000 plus the $16,000. That's $30,000 a year. That's about $2,500 a month. In most case scenarios, I would think it's paying most people's mortgages or close to. That's a pretty cool benefit to have that comes along with you and building passive income for you because of the fact that eXp is paying you off of just introducing your friends to the company. It's something you're likely going to do anyway, but now you're being compensated for it, and it doesn't impact you and it doesn't impact them. And that's a huge benefit to you as an agent to be able to take advantage of that. Well, then what ends up happening is it goes 7 tiers deep. So over time, the agent that you introduces an agent, introduces an agent, introduces an agent, and so on and so forth to 7 levels deep. Over time, that's how it starts to expand. Myself personally, I've used myself as an example so you can understand how this works. I came over to the brokerage with about 16 agents that were part of my smaller brokerage that I brought over. Those 16 agents now have evolved and grown and expanded and compounded into over 120 agents. That's unbelievable that that kind of growth can happen, but it happens because of the compounding effect of the way that the revenue share model works. And now I'm being compensated. And also in conjunction with that, it leads to greater collaboration because now I have a vested interest in all of the people that are associated with me as part of my organization. I care about their growth and their development and their production and everything that they have from a business level. I care about it because I have a vested interest in it, but it didn't cost them anything and it didn't cost me anything. That's a huge benefit to all of us because everyone can take advantage of this. And now all of the agents that come into eXp have the same opportunities to grow income at this level. Huge, huge benefit. And it's something that inevitably will happen. I know that it'll happen for you. If you look at your circle of people that you collaborate with, inevitably you will then migrate to having all these people surrounding you at this platform because now you get to all uplift each other and advance together. Huge, huge benefit. So I love to end on something and we'll open up the Q&A, but I love to end on a thought for you is to ask yourself if what you're doing today is getting you closer to where you want to be tomorrow. If the answer to that is no, then you need to take a harder look at this. If the answer to that is yes, you still need to take a harder look at this because you need to get more for what it is that you're doing. And as hard as we work in this business, because we all work super, super hard, we deserve to have more given to us for that hard work. And that's what this platform provides, and that's what it can provide to you and your family and all those around you. So I hope this was super helpful. The last thing that I put up here is the join.exprealty.com. That's where you can go to sign up. If you have additional questions and you want to get answers to those questions, we're going to open it up to a Q&A, but you can also go back to whoever introduced you or asked you to come to this call, go back to them, ask that question that you may have. If they need to link up with me or we need to jump on another call, feel free to do so. We will jump on another call and explain a little bit further on what your specific question may be if you don't want to ask that question in the Q&A. But as of now, we're going to open it up to the Q&A. And again, go back to anyone that invited you to this call and make sure that you let them know that you want to find out more about what this amazing company can offer for you. All right, cool. So